Hi, my name is Gloria Hayden. I'm one of the librarians for Southwest. Do you know that the library provides access to a wide array of resources that you can access 24/7? As long as you have internet access and a smart device, you have useful tools available at your fingertips. So in this video, I want to show you how you can use the library's webpage to access materials when you're working remotely. I know that a lot of you are taking online classes, or maybe you're just too busy to make it to one of the campuses and visit the library. That's okay. In this library orientation, I'm going to show you tips and tricks so that you know how to access resources anytime that you need information for your coursework. So let's go ahead and get started. It's really easy to find the library's page when you're on the Southwest homepage. One thing that you can do is simply go to the address bar. So I'm just clicking, we're currently at www.southwest.tn.edu. That's Southwest homepage. I can simply type in /library, hit enter, and here we are on the library's homepage. Now, an easier way is along the top of the screen here, you have the blue banner, and right here, you've got a link to the library. You can just click on library, and it's going to bring you to our homepage. So let's scroll down a bit. Let me show you some of the things that we're going to look at today. I'm going to be introducing you to SOAR. SOAR stands for Southwest Online Academic Resources. And you'll notice just under that is a search box. This is a terrific resource to use when you need to find information on a topic. I can type something in, and SOAR is going to look for articles, books, multimedia materials, and more. So I'm going to be showing you how this works. Now let's scroll down a bit more, and you can see there's information about the library, so you can read up on all of this. We are going to be spending a lot of times looking at our databases, because that's a great place to go whenever you need to do research for a topic, and I'll be introducing you to some of the things that you can find through our databases. I'm going to be showing you CyberCat. That's our online catalog. That's where you want to go if you want to see if the library owns a book or a serial. I'll be introducing you to some of our related links. There's some good stuff down here I want you to be aware of. So let's go ahead and get started. The first place I want to take you is CyberCat. This is our online catalog, as I was saying. I'm just going to click on that. And here we are. When you see the cat and the mouse at the top, you know you're in the right spot. It says CyberCat. And here we have several tabs. So these are the different ways that you can search to see what books or serials we own. It defaults to a keyword search. So whatever I type in this box, CyberCat is going to look for that word or that term, and it's going to retrieve any records that contain it. Now, maybe there's a specific title that I have in mind. Well, I click on the tab that says title. I can type in the name of the book or serial, and notice right in here you do get examples of how you want to enter that into the search box. Maybe there's an author. I want to see if we own anything by him or her. Well, I click on the author tab, and again, you've got information how you want to enter that. You want to put in last name, comma, first name, or first initial. Now you can do a more refined search using controlled vocabulary. I know that's kind of a nerdy librarian term. You can search subject headings. Maybe you've got the book's call number. Well, you could type that in as well, and here we've got examples. Every book has a number that's unique to it. It's called an ISBN. For serials, it's called an ISSN, and those numbers are searchable as well. Now, I think that most of us probably use the first three here. So I'm going to click on keyword, and I want to run a keyword search just to show you how you use this tool. So maybe I want to brush up on my study skills. Let me click in. I'm going to type in study skills, and I'm going to hit submit. It's going to run my search, and it has retrieved 937 results. They're sorted by relevance. Now, there may be times when you want to change the order. Maybe you want to see the books listed by date. Well, you could click here where it says date, and it will put them in chronological order. Maybe you want them alphabetically by title. No problem. Just click here on the title link, and it will resort them. Let's scroll down a bit and look at our search results. So here I'm getting the title of the book. I can see the author's name. I can see it was published in New York by Paul Gray Macmillan in 2012. I see what location has this book. So this is at the Parish Library. That is our Union Avenue location. I do get the call number for the book. And by the way, our libraries are arranged by Library of Congress classification. And if you're not familiar with that, no problem. If you're in the library, just come to the front desk, let somebody know you need some assistance. That's why we're here. Now under status, it tells me this book is available for checkout. Now look over here on the far right, we have all these icons. This is a handy little visual tool. Anytime I see what looks like a stack of books, it's letting me know this is a hard copy. And if it says available, it should be on the shelf. Now look at this one. It sort of looks like a film canister. That's letting me know this is audio-visual material. Now let me scroll down a bit. I'm also getting ebooks. These are electronic books. I can access those 24/7. And since that's what we're really looking at in this video, I'm going to show you how we can tweak this search and limit to just those electronic books. So I'm going to scroll up to the top, and right here, you've got these three little buttons. I want to click the one that says Modify Search. I'm selecting that. Now notice our search term is still in the search box. It's going to look for that in any field. We were doing a keyword search. Now I want to take you right here. It says Material Type, and we want to look for electronic books or ebooks. So I'm just taking my mouse. I'm going to scroll to the bottom right here. It says ebooks. I'm clicking on that to highlight it, and I'm going to hit submit. So what Cybercat is doing, it's pulling just those electronic books. So again, it's nice because I don't even have to come to the library for these. I have 24/7 access. So how do I open this book? Well, let's say I want to read this first one. Just click right here. There's a link to the website. I'm selecting that. I'm going to give it just a second to load up for me. I can see the little wheel up here spinning. There we go. It's loaded over here on the right-hand side. I can see what the cover looks like. I'm getting the title of the book. Here's the author's name. I get a nice description right here. I can read what this book is about. I get some of the subjects that are covered. So we're getting all this information. If I scroll down a bit, I've got my table of contents. Now I'm going to go back here to the top, and right here I've got a couple of options for loading up the ebook to read it. Now if I happen to have an e-reader, right here I've got an option to download the book for 7 days. But I'm going to click the PDF. I want to open this book. Click it again. You know something? It's not opening. Let me go down to the table of contents. Maybe it just doesn't like going about it that way. No. Oh, there it goes. It's loading. Now, this is a good time for me to remind everybody, you know, sometimes with these electronic resources, maybe they don't work the way we want them to. It finally did open. You could see it took a few tries, right? This is a good time for me to remind y'all. Start on your assignments early. Don't wait until the last minute, because you know something, especially with online things, sometimes websites go down. Sometimes we have technical glitches, you know, so make sure you're starting early. Give yourself a little bit of cushion. But here we are in chapter 1 of this book. I just take my mouse, I scroll through to read it. Very clear, easy to use. Now the table of contents is now on the left-hand side, so if I want to jump around in it, I can do that. I also have some arrows down here, so if I want to flip through the pages that way, I have those options. I can type in a page number if I want to jump ahead in the book. And along the top here, I want you to know about some of these useful tools. If I wanted to save, email, or print off a few pages, I could do that. Now, you know, it's not going to let you print this entire book. That, first of all, that would violate the copyright law. And secondly, the publisher won't allow you to do that, but they will let you print off or email a few pages. This is the tool that I love to show students, the citation tool. So let's say I'm a student and I am working on a paper, and maybe I want to cite this book in my paper. Well, this tool, and you'll find this with most of our resources, the databases I'm going to be showing you have this. You just click this, it says Cite, and it gives me the citation for this electronic book in a number of different styles. So you would simply scroll through until you find the style that you're using in your class. Now I know most of the composition classes use MLA, so look what I could do. I could just take my mouse and I could highlight this, I could right click, I could copy, and I can paste this citation into my works cited or my bibliography. Now, it's still your responsibility to make sure that they got it right. And sometimes instructors may want you to tweak it a little bit. You know, you might have to change it out. I know sometimes when you use this tool, it may give you the date that something was accessed. And especially with MLA, sometimes instructors don't want that information included. So you want to look through your syllabus. You want to make sure that you understand the instructions. You know, check with your instructor if you're unsure. But isn't that a useful tool? I love that. So let me close out of there. We're back here to the ebook. And if you wanted to go back to your search results, you just, you know, click here, and here we are back in Cybercat where we started. So let's leave Cybercat. I'm just closing out that tab. And I want to take you next to the databases. Let's select databases. I clicked on that. And I'm always telling students that our electronic databases, they're your one-stop shop for all your information needs. It's a terrific place to go. You can find more ebooks. So I can find electronic books, but I can also find multimedia materials. I'm talking things like movies, music, videos. I can find scholarly journal articles, but I can also find magazine and newspaper articles. We have the databases arranged alphabetically by broad topics. Let me just scroll through here so you can see some of the things that are covered. You know, it's pretty wide array of topics to choose from, and you can kind of use this as your roadmap. So for example, if I were about to write a paper on a legal topic, well, I can go here to law. I'll select law, and I get several legal databases. Notice as I'm hovering how these are, you know, it changes a little bit. They're highlighted, they're in red. I can click any of these to run my search. But I can also go to the recommended websites that are listed. So these are legal websites, and the library staff has selected these. So these are going to be reputable resources. You know, you got to be really cautious anytime that you go out and search the web for information. You know, any one of us can create a website and pretend like we're experts, whether we know something about, you know, anything about the topic or not. So you've always got to be very skeptical when you just go out and use a search engine to look for information. You know, you've always got to be asking yourself, you know, who put this website together and why? You know, and is it easy to find that information? Can you figure out who created the website? Are they really an expert on the topic? But know that if you're using our databases and you're looking at the recommended websites, these have been vetted. You know, the library staff has chosen these, so they're reputable. Now, we also have multimedia materials if there's any on your topic. So here under the legal section, we do have a couple of multimedia. These are videos that I can watch. Let me just close that back up. And I want to take you back to the top here. Maybe you've had a class where, you know, a librarian comes and teaches you about the databases. So maybe you're using some of our databases already, and you know the name of the database, but you don't necessarily know the topic. Well, you can go right here. We've got an A to Z listing. So I'll select that, and then I scroll down. Maybe it begins with the letter A. I'll click on that, and here we have all the different databases beginning with the letter A. These are hyperlinked. I can click to go straight in and search on them. I do get a nice description, and notice right here, it does give you the subject category, so you know how to find it that way. Now I'm just closing that out. So back here on electronic databases, I mentioned I was going to show you how to search SOAR. Now, let me click my back button. So right here on the home page, you do have a link out to SOAR. We try to make it really easy to find. right here on the Welcome to the Library page. So you could type in your topic here, but you can also access it through the databases. So it's the same thing, it's just more than one way to access something. So let me show you where else you can go. You can go right here under database collections. Right here is a link to SOAR. So up to you, if you just go to the libraries page, you'll find it right there at the top. Or if you happen to be in the databases, you just click on database collections, and right here you've got the link to SOAR. So I have a search box here at the top. So let's say I'm getting ready to write a paper. So I can just type in my topic. Maybe I want to research body image. And notice as I started typing, I get this little window that pops up, that auto suggest feature that you get with a lot of search engines. I love that feature because I'm just a lousy typist. So I clicked on body image, it popped that into the search box. I'm going to click this little magnifying glass and it's running my search. So let's see what kind of results we come up with. Wow, I've gotten a lot of results, over 5 million. That's going to be a lot for me to go through, but I'm going to show you in just a second how I can tighten up my results and get, kind of narrow it down a bit more. Just under my results, the number, I get some database recommendations. And, it just depends on what you happen to be researching. You may get this, you may not. But for my topic, it's telling me that I might want to search these two databases. So notice as I hover, they're suddenly underlined, they're hyperlinked. It's telling me I might want to search Gale in Context, Opposing Viewpoints. I might want to research Issues and Controversies. I'm getting my search results. They're all listed here. But over on the right-hand side here, I'm getting a nice overview article on my topic. So if I don't know a whole lot about body image, it's giving me some information on it. So right here, it gives me an opening paragraph. I can click here if I wanted to read the whole thing and learn more about my topic. Now, just under that, I'm getting some related topics. So SOAR is trying to lead me to other topics that I might want to, run a search on. So again, these, as I hover, they're hyperlinked. I could click on any of those and it would do the same thing, give me information on the topic. Now let's actually look at some of the results here. So I'm getting a title. It tells me that this is a journal article. It is peer reviewed. I can see the names of the authors. I can see the journal that it was published in. I can see when it was published. I get the volume and the issue number, and they give me a little preview. I can also click right here and get a bigger preview. I just hover over that preview word, and it opens this for me. I get some information. I could read about this, decide if I want to go in and read the article. So I'm getting, looks like several journal articles. Oh, now look at this one. This one happens to be an ebook. So let's keep going. So you can see, I got a lot of results. I get down here to the 10th result, and it says, don't see what you're looking for? Try one of these searches. So right here, it's giving me a way to refine this search. 5 million results is going to be a lot for me to go through. So, I might look through my options and think, yeah, really what I'm interested in is body image and eating disorders. So let me click that. Now look, it's running the search. Oh, look, our number really fell down a lot. But now, I should be getting articles or, maybe ebooks. It just depends on just this topic. Now, if I decide, this is still a pretty big number here. Well, over on the left-hand side, they're giving me tools to refine my search. Let me show you how this works. I always like to point this out. Full text online. Now, since this video is focusing on materials that you can use remotely, this is a good tip for you to be aware of. I might go over here and click one of these articles, thinking that I'm going to read the full text. And maybe I'll click on it and I just get the citation and maybe an abstract. That can be very frustrating. Now, you could come to me or any of the librarians and say, you know, look, I need to get a copy of this journal article. When I click on it, it's just giving me the citation. It's not giving me the full text to read. Well, we would use a service. It's called Interlibrary Loan. And what we do is we see if another library in the country happens to have the journal, or if it were a book, you know, we could see who has a copy of this journal article or this book, and we would try to get it for you. Now, we do ask for 2 weeks in order to get it. You know, we have to find somebody that owns the journal or the book. If it is a book, they have to mail it. You know, so it's got to go snail mail. So I know a lot of times you're in a hurry. Maybe you don't have 2 weeks to wait. Well, that's okay. So one thing that you can do to kind of get, you know, work around it, you can click this link right here. It says full text online. I'm going to click that. And what it does, it's retrieving only materials that you can access immediately. So any of these that I click on, I should be able to read the full text. So keep that in mind. Now, if you're ever taking a class and your instructor says, you know something, I only want peer-reviewed journal articles. Well, SOAR would be a terrific place to go. You could just click right here. It says peer review. If I clicked that, it would only retrieve peer-reviewed journal articles. Maybe I want to limit to the type of content. Maybe I only want newspaper articles. Well, I could click right here. It looks like I'd get over 57,000. Maybe I just want ebooks. I could click here and get all 383. So you've got that option. I could click here to see other options if I wanted. Maybe you want to limit by date. You know, especially, you know, if maybe you're researching a medical topic, you know, with usually stuff like that, you want the latest studies. Well, right here, I have, I could limit to just the past year, the past 3 or 5 years, or I could put in the date range that I'm interested in. Now, another thing I can do, I'm taking my mouse, you see this little red dot? I'm grabbing that. You see the years and how they change as I drag this along? So I can grab this and I can put in whatever date range I want SOAR to search. So it reran, see, look, our number is really falling, but you know, these should be more on point. I could also limit by discipline or even by language. So let's take a look at one of these articles. Maybe I want to read this. I'll click on my title. Give it just a moment to load up here. So here I can see the title, my authors, you know, the journal that it was published in. Here I've got my abstract. I'm taking my mouse. I can read this article online. Now I'm going to take you back to the top here. I want to point out some of these useful tools. If English isn't my first language, I can translate this article. I just click this little icon and I have all these languages to choose from. So if I wanted to translate it, I just select whatever language and it would translate it for me. Now, right here, I can decrease the size of my font, or I can click here to increase it. If I click this little icon, it says listen as I hover over it. This would actually read the article to me. Over here, I have options for downloading this to Google Drive, to OneDrive. I can email it to myself, I can download, or I can print this journal article. Sometimes you'll find an article that's just terrific. It's just exactly what you were hoping for. And you think, oh, wish I could find more just like this. Well, look what they're doing. More like this. They're trying to lead you to other articles on similar topics. So I can click any of these, or I could click here for all articles. They're giving me those related subjects if I wanted to find those. Right here at the top, you've got that citation tool. So if you want to cite this journal article, you're going to click right here, and I have different styles to choose from. Again, you know, you can send, download, print, and let me give you a tip. As you do your research, anytime you find a really good article, either go ahead and print it off or email it to yourself. That way it's waiting for you whenever you get ready to write your paper. You can send yourself a permalink. You can also click right here to highlight and take notes. With this particular database, you've got that option. So I've selected my highlighter. I'm going to take my mouse, highlight some text, and when I click away, I have all these pretty colors to choose from. I can even do more than one if I want. And I can go right here, I can type in a few notes. Now you want to make sure that you either save or print this off, because once I leave the database, all of my highlighting, everything is going to be gone. So keep that in mind. And here I am, I just closed out that tab and I'm back here to my search results. So that was SOAR, and that was under the database collections. Now, if you want more electronic books, let's click on that. You see we have several ebook databases to choose from. We've also got some websites where I can access ebooks. Let me show you real quickly the Net Library. This is our biggest ebook collection. I believe we're up to something like 280,000 ebooks in this database. Right here is a search box. You can type in a topic, but you also have options. I can browse by different categories. So here we have all kinds of topics to choose from. And you can see it's not all just scholarly stuff. They do have a children and young adult fiction. Right here is a fiction section. Maybe you just want to read a book for pleasure. You could come in, find a good book. There's some on humor, there's travel. Now, right here, they have books that they happen to be highlighting. I can click the arrow, kind of flip through that way. And here they're giving me what they have, their featured ebooks. Sometimes you'll walk into the library or a bookstore and they'll have a big table full of books on a specific topic. Well, they're kind of doing the same thing here. This is sort of the online version of that. So if I wanted to read any of these, I'll just click on the cover. It loads up for me. And just like we had before when we were in the catalog, you can click here and it's going to load that book for you. There we go. So that was the Net Library, and that's under the electronic books section. Let's scroll down a bit, and I want to take you next to exams. I'll click on exams, and I want to introduce you to PrepStep. PrepStep is an exam preparation and skill building resource. Now, it's a little different from the databases that I've shown you so far. To use PrepStep, you're asked to create an account. So you will go right here. It says sign in or register. So let me click on that. The first time that you use it, you'll go right here. It says new user. You simply click where it says register, and you're just going to fill in the required fields. So any of these that have the star in front, you'll just fill this out, create a username and password that you'll remember, and then each time that you want to use PrepStep, you'll sign in with that username and password. Now let's look at what's in here. There is a section on core math and science skills, and it says build your skills in these essential subject areas. So let me click on that. Yeah, maybe I'm taking a math class, or maybe I'm taking algebra. So you see you have all these different options. I'm going to select algebra, and I select, is it basic algebra I'm taking? Maybe it's intermediate. Maybe I'm taking basic. Well, right here I've got flashcards that I can download. There are algebra ebooks I can download. There are even tutorials. So, maybe I'm doing all my homework, but I just need a little more practice. Well, I might want to do some of these tutorials. And then anytime you see the practice section, these are quizzes. So I can really see how well I'm doing, I can quiz myself. Now I'm hitting the home button. There's also a section for core English skills. Let me click on that, same thing. I've got reading, writing, grammar, vocabulary, and spelling. Oh, I don't know, maybe I want to brush up on my grammar skills. Well, again, I've got those ebooks, tutorials, and the quizzes that I can take. There's a section called College Success Skills. Let's click on that one. And I can find articles on Things like organizational strategies, classroom success skills, information literacy. There's even a section on personal success skills where they, give you articles on, how to eat right, how to, well, let me just click on it, I'll show you. There's a section, I think, on managing debt, the basics of money management, even investing. There's a career preparation section. So if I want to learn about a specific career, I could click here. And I always like to point this out. If you happen to be going into any of these fields, when you graduate, you'll be taking an exam. So maybe I'm a nursing student. I'm going to click here on nursing exams, and look what I get. There are NCLEX ebook preps, exam preparation books. There are flashcards, and then there are practice exams that I can take, so I can get a head start on all of that. And then the last thing that I want to show you in Prep Step is this section. It's called the Computer Skills Center. This is a great place to go. We've all been thrown into this virtual environment. COVID has many of us taking classes online. And I have a lot of students come to me and say, I'm just not very tech savvy. And I bring them here to this tool because there are video tutorials on getting started with your computer. There's a section on getting started with the internet. And then there's one called Popular Software Tools. Let me click that one and show you. Right here, I have all the Microsoft products. So I can go in and I have video tutorials to walk me through how to use Word or how to use PowerPoint. It's all available right here. So that was Prep Step, and that's under exams. So let's close that one up. Next, I want to take you to grammar. I know as students, you all do so much writing. Well, we have something called Grammarly. Grammarly is editing software. So if I write a paper, I can upload my paper to Grammarly and it will edit it for me. It's just a terrific resource. Now, in order to use Grammarly, you have to create an account, just like we had to with Prep Step. So you'll just click on that link. It'll bring you to this page. Skip over this section. It says continue with Google. If you click there, it's just going to prompt you to put in a code. I don't have a code to give you. So what you're going to do instead is just type in your name. You're going to type in your email. And this is a very important tip to keep in mind. You need to put in your Southwest email account. If you put in a personal email account, Grammarly won't recognize you as being one of our students, and you won't have access to the premium version of Grammarly. So type in your Southwest email and then just put in a password that you're going to remember. You'll hit sign up. You will get an email from Grammarly asking you to confirm, yes, I did create this account. Once you do that, you can just log into Grammarly, upload your paper, and it's going to do the editing for you. Also, under the grammar section, we have lots of great stuff under the recommended websites. There's something called the Academic Writing Guide for college students. If you click on this, it gives you information on different types of papers and how to write them. It gives you grammar tips. It's a wonderful resource. If you need help with bibliography, there are 3 tools. There's something called BibMe, there's EasyBib, and then if you scroll to the bottom, there is ZoteroBib. Those are all good for bibliographies. If you need help with citing, there's Citation Machine and Cite This For Me. If you need help with grammar, there is the Grammarly Handbook. There is also the online writing tutorial. If you click this link, it takes you out to Purdue University's OWL website. They are a great resource for writing. There's information on how to write a paragraph, how to research a topic. There's a section here called Style Manuals. If you click on that, that gives you tools to help you format your paper. For example, if maybe I'm taking a composition class and I have to put my paper in MLA format. Well, how do I do that? Well, if you click right here, this will give you a step-by-step guideline on how to do that. If you need a thesaurus, there's a link. If you ever have to do a thesis statement, we've got 2 tools here. There's the thesis builder and the thesis statement generator. You've got a link out to a dictionary, all kinds of good stuff in here. Under multimedia, there's a link to a video on how to use Grammarly. And then there are a couple here. There's one on how to do a research paper. There's one on how to do an outline for your paper. So you can check all of that out. How do you find multimedia materials? Let's go right here. There's a multimedia section. Maybe I need an image. Maybe I'm putting together a PowerPoint and I want to put an image in my slide. Well, go right here to ImageQuest. Click on that. I could type in a topic. Then they also have, something that they're featuring right here. Maybe I need an image of a library. I'll type in library, and then here, got all kinds to choose from. Select the one I want, and here I can cite it. I can add it to my images. I can download, email, or print it. So that's ImageQuest. There's also the Master Academic Collection. Let me click on that one. I can find videos in here. I can type in a topic. And you can see these come from places like PBS, BBC. I know HBO has videos in here. They break it down by different, things, videos that they happen to be featuring. Maybe I want to watch one of these. I just click on it. It's going to load it up. Click right here to view it. Now notice they do break it down into segments. So if I don't have time to watch, the hour and 56 minutes, I could go here and watch different segments. And I always like to point this out. They do have a transcript. So maybe there's a good sound bite in here. Maybe you want to quote somebody for your paper. Well, you could just go in here and find that quote. You could copy, you could paste that into your paper. You put your quotation marks around it, and then you're going to want to cite back to the video. And right here, you've got the citation tool. So we've covered a lot of databases. I do have a breadcrumb trail right here, so I can click and it brings me back to where we started on the library's homepage. So let's scroll down just a bit, and I want to show you a few of these related links. You can take a 360 virtual tour. So let me click here. Like I was saying, you don't even have to walk into the library, although we'd love it when you come to visit. But I can take a virtual tour instead. So read through the little book here. This gives you all the directions on how to use this. So right over here, I have the Born-Bloom Library. This is at Macon Cove. I can click right here to go inside, or I can go here and click this map. And as I hover over all these little blue dots, it gives me different locations to explore. So let me take you to Union Avenue. That's the Jess Parrish Library. Let's go inside here. So I can move around. Here's the computer area. I can take my mouse. I can go upstairs. I could even, if I want to see, maybe I want to see what the computer lab looks like. I'll click on that and it brings me inside, and anytime you see the little eye, you get more information. I think that's such a fun tool. Now, we also have a YouTube channel. This is something else you can access 24/7. Maybe you want to refresh your memory on what we, talked about today. Well, go right here, click on the videos, and there are all kinds for you to choose from. Some of them are topic specific. We've got lots in here on, the pause system and how do you, check your grades and pause. Well, there are videos that cover all of that. So 24/7 access to the YouTube channel. Now, I want to make sure you know how to get help from us. Right here, we have something that says Ask a Librarian. Let's click on that. That brings you to the Ask a Librarian page. And one of the things that you can do is request a research coach. So maybe you're trying to write a paper, you're trying to research your topic, and you've searched the databases, but it's not exactly what you need. Just click right here. It says request for a research coach. You select that, it gives you a form to fill out, and we would schedule a time for us to work together one-on-one. We have this really useful software called Bumgar. So we would share our screen with you, kind of like what we were doing, earlier in the databases. We can research your topic, spend a little time helping you with that. Now you can also go right here if you want to chat with us. We do offer a live chat service, and here we've got the times and the days when that service is available. Let me just take you back. Right here is the live chat. It looks like the person is currently offline. Now you could click here and leave us a message. When they get back online, they would contact you. If they're online, you would just click and you'd be able to chat with a librarian. We take you back to Ask a Librarian. You could also send us a text. Right here is the phone number. You can send that to, and again, you've got your days, hours listed. You can follow us on Facebook. There's a link out right there. Here we have phone numbers. You can pick up the phone and call us. Here are all the different branches and the phone numbers for that. I don't know if you realize, in the PAWS system, you've got an embedded librarian to help you out. If you go to your class list, you'll see a link to Ask a Librarian. You can send us a message there. Right here, you've got email for the library. You want to contact us that way. Now, if you're ever having a problem, right here we have report a problem. And here's a form for you to fill out. We do ask you to be real specific. If you're getting an error message, please let us know what it's saying. Let us know what steps you're taking. What were you clicking on? What browser are you using? Anything that would help us troubleshoot your issue, we really appreciate. And we're back to where we started. I hope that you found this video useful. Don't forget, if you need any assistance, go to that Ask a Librarian link. We work for you. We're here for you. That's why you've got us. If you come to the library, stop by the reference desk. We're always happy to help. Thank you very much.